Good evening, Southwest New Brunswick. I'm Vicki Hogarth, and here's what's happening in our part of the world. Emergency measures are still being taken across the province to deal with seasonal flooding. Green Party leader David Coon, who stopped by our studio for an upcoming episode of Southwest Magazine, had this to say about the government's response to this year's flood.
It's so incredibly stressful and anxiety-producing to be in the middle of your house flooding. And staying up or waking up regularly in the night to make sure the pumps are going. All of it's terrible. So it's very encouraging to have the Army in your neighborhood, and of course practically they're doing things that are making a difference too. So that was the biggest change I saw.
Although Coon thinks immediate emergency measures have been positive, he still believes a more strategic long-term plan needs to be put in place.
Start to deal with wetlands and our forests and our floodplains as essential infrastructure to minimize the impacts of flooding instead of paving them over or turning them into plantations or destroying the wetlands. This is an essential thing. We heard that all over the province when we had our hearings in every corner of New Brunswick, that people saw it because people are close to the land in most of New Brunswick outside of the cities.
In local politics, the Dunn Foundation is donating $700,000 towards building a wellness center at the W.C. O'Neill Arena in St. Andrews. The foundation requires the town to confirm by June 30th that the project will be developed at the arena in order for the Dunn grant to be allocated to the project. Otherwise, the generous offer will be retracted.
Majority of the future for the next 30, 40 years, this community will be built probably outside of the town flat. So it's just something to consider, and if you look at a geographic map of the town of St. Andrews, from the actual property line of town of St. Andrews to the point, this is almost the dead center geographic location for the community.
Rural Lynx, the subsidized bus service connecting Charlotte County to St. John, in partnership with Maritime Bus, will be discontinued at the end of May. After 2 years of operating, the pilot project for rural public transit in southwest New Brunswick revealed there is indeed a great need for a transportation service in our region.
Overall, it's probably about 6 people a day. From a maritime bus standpoint, that's not sustainable. From our standpoint, we've offered rides to over 3,300 people, and for each one of those people, that's a significant opportunity and it's a significant development.
Choptiani is confident the pilot project has paved the way for a private van service to set up a successful rural transit service in the area. The Algonquin Golf Course took to the first tee a little early this year, with well over 100 golfers coming out to enjoy the greens during the final weekend in April.
The course came through the winter excellent. We have no temporary greens, no winter kill, anything like that. So we're really optimistic about the spring we've got, particularly where a lot of the province is still covered in snow. Fortunately, in St. Andrews, we have such nice weather that we're a little bit ahead of the curve.
2019 marks the first full year the newly renovated course will be enjoyed in full capacity by golfers from both near and far. Over 70 vendors, including CHCO-TV, will descend upon the Garceland Civic Center this Friday and Saturday for the 6th annual St. Stephen Kiwanis trade show.
There's a great variety. It appeals to any and all age groups and interests. There's something there for everybody. You will enjoy yourself.
We'll see you there. Finally, the next mayor of Campobello is set to be decided on May 6th, and clearly residents of the island are ready to cast their vote. 130 of 684 eligible voters came out last Saturday to the advanced polls, despite even a power outage on the island. We look to reporting on the full results of the election next week. Be sure to get out there and vote on May 6th, Campobello. Beloved music and outdoor festival Paddlefest returns to St. Andrews May 16th to 19th. For an in-depth look at this year's festival, watch an all-new episode of Southwest Magazine airing all this week on CHCO-TV. That's all the news I have for you. For more stories and online exclusives, follow us on Facebook at CHCO.TV.
A news and public affairs production of CHCO-TV, New Brunswick's only source for independent community television.